What up, guys? Just a quick update on my build. So far, it's going pretty smoothly. I think I've helped fix some of the issues I was having before, but um, it still has some room for adjustment. It's not completely unkillable yet. It will be soon, hopefully. And so far, my progression's been pretty all right. Um, oh, who's this? Omniphobia. So the last time I had to run in with him, it was a stalemate, and I had to force quit because I didn't have a specific like breakpoint, I guess you could say, and my flasks are still they need a lot of work right now. But I think it has to do with the item level and rolling tier 1 rolls. Also, basically, one of the interesting things about this is your flasks are super important. Without having those up, you know, all the time, it's just not as good of mitigation and survivability. Um, I've also a thing to note about this build in particular is you require the enemies to hit you to be able to stun, to be able to cast, and without being able to stun or cast, or there's many instances in which you might take something on a skill tree or something, an item by accident that would prevent you from stunning to being stunned, and or reducing threshold of stun or chance to via flask mod and something like that. It's super important to look out for because it'll completely negate your DPS and your survivability. And one thing to note is also taking a of assault flask for the taunt, because that's super valuable for this build. If I can notice the difference immediately as soon as I put this flask on versus not having it. Um, I would say that it kind of speeds up the process of mapping for that application. Otherwise, it seems very clunky without it. Like I was scratching my head for a moment and I was like, I know I'm tired, but I know there's something I can be doing better, and I don't know what it is exactly. And I almost thought that this build was only for running simulacrums, but no, you can run anything in the whole game. And it just really comes down to understanding the mechanics of the build and knowing the game well enough to know that where there's a will, there's a way. You can sometimes you just have to go to the drawing board or ask somebody who has done something similar. And yeah, so and one of the other things I also noticed and I wanted to take note and mention is because if you're trying to do this build, you might reach a brick wall and say, oh well, I need mirrors, or I need, you know, and there's a lot of instances in Path of Exile where you might get frustrated with something because you don't quite fully see the scope of what's going on. And one of these, so like I interchange this for see, my resistances are super low, and then when I switch them, they're super high. They go up to cap, and I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm taking tons of damage when I'm using this. But this is supposedly better. Well, why is my resistance suck so bad if they're cap when I switch them? Well, part of that being is this reduce elemental resistances modifier. I'm kind of lucky in a way that I had such a bad roll, because my hope was that I would only take me one divine and hopefully get one of the better rolls, which would be lower, because you don't want more reduced, you want less reduced. So I'm hoping for a 60%, which is like, that's like wishful thinking, but anything lower than 69 would be great, so that way I can have some more resistances, because it looks like a multiplicative percentage overall, or however you want to look at that, like a more reduction. It says reduced elemental. That's pretty bad. And as you see there, I was able to die with that reduced. And then I noticed something kind of interesting too. Is on this shield, it says you take 100% of, or 100% of elemental taken from hits, from block hits, and then you take 40% of that and you take it as physical. Well, this is an armor stacking build, so that's pretty neat to add another layer of like mitigation there. And then I just decided to throw this on here to convert some of the fire to chaos, which I felt like was another layer of like DPS. And I even thought about using the black flame ring, which I would put in place of this one possibly. This one, it just popped out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, what is this? And then, just ways to generate charges and leech. And so I figured more survivability with this combination. I did eventually I tried to craft something here. I just went for dexterity and resistances. I ended up with some life, and then just did exposure for fire and extinguish, which I thought was cool because that helps with the not that I really need it at this point because I'm using purity of elements. But anyways, and then I tried to roll my boots, which it's I've had better boots, but I'm not complaining because I finally got that movement on there, which helps a little bit with I don't like slow characters. And then I crafted this one. I thought it was pretty nutty. I mean, given the fact that it's such a high armor roll, I had tier 1 armor hybrid, tier 2 a hybrid. Then I roll. I mean, that's like I think as high as I can get right now for the crafted mod. But tier 1 chaos, stun block recovery is important, and then the regen. I thought that was pretty nifty for survivability. And then this right here, this isn't super anything crazy. Obviously, the best in slot I have yet to get. It's 4 divs. I'm saving up for that one right now. And yeah, so that's currently where I stand. Oh, look, there's more monsters here. Let's see, I'll run this one right here. Yeah, with running this shield, it's really a lot more survivable for my current progression, or where I'm at in my progression. So I would like to switch to my main weapon, but I've noticed this cold damage is like damage over time or something, and it's very strong. So I might have to get some minus the cold damage over time or something. Let's see, where's it at? Damage over time. Chaos. I'm not sure. Huh. But that triple damage though is really nice. It's strong. You can see a huge difference in that triple. Oh shoot! See that frost ground or something? What is that? I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to look that up to find out more about how to mitigate that damage there. But I'm pretty sure if it's not, I don't think it's chaos. I'm pretty sure it's like cold damage over time. It looks like cold anyways, but I could be wrong. For all I know, it's probably poison or something. But and I don't think I have immunity to poison. I think I have immunity to other things, but not poison. Which I do happen to have on a rig. Just not on this character. It would be a bit of progress to see this character eventually kill this guy. This is the sad part of my story right here, but it's okay because it's a learning curve, and you just kind of it gives you that experience, for when you approach something else, another build, you have that like fortitude of, hey, I'm gonna keep working at this until I can find a way to make it work. And I think for right now, where I'm sitting is I need to focus on um, getting my weapon re-rolled, and then crafting my jewel clusters for smoke that remains, or smoke something like that. And then what's the other one? It's called, so one's the smoking remains, yeah, and then the other one's prismatic heart. But how this configuration kind of messed me over here was that instead of rather having the two right here, it had, because that would have been 3, 4, 5 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without the socket, which would be 7. So I'm kind of losing more in the long run. So I need to re-roll that to have 3 passives, which 2 would be smoke remains and prismatic heart, so that I can get huge damage. And this one, see, this one doesn't even, it's the same deal. So this one's not an ideal setup because I'm losing like 4 or more passives depending on how I try to get those. I mean, if that's on an 8 passive, I could be losing up to 4. But if it was on a bigger, 12, that's a lot more passives that you don't want to use, because that's just not efficient. Not efficient, because it'd be wasting skill points. And I did my best to follow a path of building for this setup, and I feel like it's pretty good. I'm just not, see, like my jewel could use work. It's not perfect. This setup here is not entirely perfect. I mean, I'm missing some armor, and then this recovery is not as high as it could be. I think the max is 1,000. Yep, 1,000. So there's some room for improvement. I think the most expensive jewel would probably end up being the Forbidden Flame of Flesh, and then an Unnatural Instinct right here. Probably for area of effect and mana, I'm guessing, but or I could go, yeah. Well, I'm just taking this right here for Can't Be Cursed with Silence, and then Corrupted Blood, and I have the Adorn, but I don't have any jewels that are useful at this point for my setup. Oh, I could have been attacking him this whole time. Silly me. Oh, would you look at that? I actually have a little bit of damage. But, yeah, the skill gems are still leveling up, which is a little painful mentally, but it's okay. I should just run some maps to, get the levels going. Anyways, this is kind of what it looks like when you're running around auto-taunting. I wouldn't say auto-bombing, it's auto-taunting. No, I'm just kidding. It's kind of like auto-bombing. But, yeah, degen stuff on the floor. I don't like it. I'm kind of curious to see how far I get, but I know at some point I will hit a brick wall, because I know this is not fully optimized yet, and I know it's not and it's just, you know, some basic math stuff here. But I think I'm gonna call it on this portion of this video for this for where I'm at so far, and I'll just continue updating. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.